Hello students and welcome to today's class. In this session we are going to learn about skill practice with metal tools. Let's begin. In metalworking we use various tools and procedures such as filing, hacksaw cutting, internal threading, external threading and resharpening. These processes help us shape metal accurately, join metal parts and maintain the efficiency of tools. So understanding the materials, procedures and precaution is very important. Let us start with filing. A file is the main tool used in the grinding and finishing process. Filing helps us to remove unwanted portions of a workpiece and achieve a flat, smooth finish. For filing practice, we usually need a mild steel angle iron workpiece, a double cut file, a second cut file, and a tri-square. Precautions to be taken while filing. While filing, always ensure the following. The file must move in straight strokes, not slanted. Check dimensions repeatedly to maintain accuracy. Use the required file to obtain proper dimensions. And very important, the workpiece should be fixed straight in the bench vise, otherwise the final shape will not match the requirements.
In this media, you will learn about the different methods of filing and hand positions to apply the right pressure. The different methods of filing are diagonal filing, transverse filing, and longitudinal filing. The diagonal filing is done when heavy reduction of workpiece is required. In diagonal filing, the strokes are at an angle of 45 degrees to the workpiece. Transverse filing is commonly used to reduce material from the edges of the workpiece. In transverse filing, the file strokes are at right angles to the longer sides of the workpiece. Longitudinal filing is used for smooth finish end filing. In longitudinal filing, the file is moved parallel to the longer side of the workpiece. The different hand positions and the amount of downward pressure to be applied depends on stock removal. In normal filing, the file is gripped with both hands as shown. The file removes stock in the straightforward motion only, and the file is lifted in the return stroke. The diagonal filing with heavier downward pressure is applied for heavy stock removal. Light downward pressure is applied in finish filing as shown. Hand position and method are even more important to distribute force evenly throughout the file for finish filing. Draw filing or longitudinal filing is done to obtain a good flat finish. You have learnt about the different methods of filing and the hand positions to apply the right pressure. In this exercise, you will learn how to file the sides of the mild steel MS angle to the required dimensions. Fix the MS angle on the bench vise such that the side to be filed should be parallel to the earth's surface. Always ensure that the filing end is 15 millimeters above the jaws of the vise. Start filing on one side of the MS angle using a double cut file. Now, start filing using a second cut file to obtain a smooth finish. Check the flatness of the finished surface using a tri-square. This filed side is further used as the reference datum side for future markings. Apply chalk over the entire surface. Use a steel rule and metal scriber to mark the lines as per the dimensions. Use a dot punch to mark continuous dots over the marked lines. Start filing on the side till you reach the marked line. File using a second cut file on all filed sides for finishing the job. Check the right angles on all the sides using the tri-square. Thus, you have learnt to file the sides of the given MS angle.
Next, let us look at cutting tools. A hacksaw is a handheld cutting tool used to remove unwanted material from the metal plates and pipes. The hacksaw blade is firmly fitted to its frame and then used for cutting metal of considerable thickness. Precautions to be observed while using a hacksaw. The teeth must face forward. The workpiece must be fixed straight in the bench vise. Secure the material properly to avoid shifting, jamming, or dangerous jolting of the hacksaw. Always leave allowance for filing after cutting, and hold the hacksaw handle firmly for safe and efficient cutting.
In the exercise, you will learn how to cut the given mild steel MS pipe using hacksaw. Fix the given mild steel pipe on the V-shaped bench vise. File the one end of the tube for obtaining a flat surface. Check the flatness of the filed side using a tri-square. Apply chalk over the entire outer surface of the MS tube. Mark line for the cut on the MS pipe using scriber. Mark continuous dots on the marked line using a dot punch. Fix the given mild steel pipe on the V-shaped bench vise. Cut straightly along the marked line using a hacksaw. File both the sides of the cut pipe using a second cut file for a smooth flat finish. Check the flatness of the filed side using a tri-square. Thus, you have learned how to cut a MS pipe using hacksaw. In this exercise, you will learn how to cut the given mild steel MS flat using hacksaw. Consider the MS flat as shown. Denote all the sides with alphabets for further reference. Fix the given MS flat on the bench vise such that the side A is horizontal. File the side A with double cut file to get a flat surface. File with second cut file to get a smooth flat surface on side A. Check the right angles of the finished side using tri-square. Apply chalk over the entire MS flat. With the use of the ruler in the tri-square, mark dots at desired dimensions as shown. Draw parallel lines using ruler and scriber. Mark continuous dots on the marked lines using dot punch. Fix the plate on the bench vise. Cut straightly along the first line using hacksaw by applying constant pressure on each stroke. After completing the cut, keep the cut piece aside and cut along the second line to obtain the second piece. Follow the above step to cut the third piece. Always ensure that the blade is fitted firmly to the frame. Use a second cut file to finish the cut side. Thus, you have learned how to cut the given MS flat using hacksaw.
Now let us discuss internal threading. Internal threading is the process of forming threads inside drilled hole. Threading allows us to assemble two metal parts together because screw and bolts fit in the internal thread. The tools and materials needed include a mild steel angle, a work table with bench vise, a hand drilling machine, tap bits, a tri-square, steel rule, and a wrench. Precautions while performing internal threading. Clamp the workpiece very firmly in the vise. The tool bit must be properly ground. Use lubricant and coolant to reduce friction, and do not touch the thread after threading because sharp threads can cut the skin.
In this exercise, you will learn how to form internal threads on the given angle iron. Tapping operation produces internal threads in drilled holes. The tool used to form internal threads is called as tap. There are totally 3 kinds of tap bits in the process of internal threading. They are entering tap, plug tap, and third tap. Apply lump chalk on given angle. Mark the points for drilling holes using a scriber and a steel rule. Fix the given angle iron on the bench vise. Make an impression point to drill hole using a dot punch. Drill holes on the marked points using a hand drilling machine. Fix the standard M10 entering tap on the tap handle. Apply oil on the holes and while tapping, as this could reduce the damage done to the tapping bit. Keep the tap on the drilled hole. Now, start rotating the tap handle with constant pressure in clockwise direction. Finish the threading process with plug tap and third tap. Check the formed threads by fixing the M10 bolt in the tapped hole.
Next is external threading. External threading creates threads on the outer side of the cylindrical parts. Bolts, screw, and pipes have external threads that fit into internal threads for joining. External threads are formed using dies. Tools that are required are mild steel tube, pipe vise, tap die, tri-square, steel rule. Precautions to be observed while doing external threading are: select the correct die and make sure it is free from chips. If threading needs to extend up to a shoulder, remove the die, reverse it, and complete the final threads. Use proper lubricants and coolants. After threading, clean the new thread with a wire brush to remove sharp edges and leftover scrap.
In this exercise, you will learn how to form external threads in a mild steel MS pipe. External threads are formed using die. The tool used for holding the die is known as die stock. The 3 main types of dies are circular split or button die, half die, and adjustable screw plate die. Now, you will learn how to form external threads on a MS tube using a circular split die. Check the flatness on one end of the pipe using tri-square. Apply chalk over the MS pipe on the portion where the external threads have to be formed. Mark the end line of the thread using scriber and steel rule. Fix the pipe on the bench vise with V-jaws. Fix the circular split die on the die stock. Fix the screw of the die stock and adjust it to get the desired depth of the threads. Apply oil before threading, as this could reduce the damage done to the die. Keep the die at right angles to the pipe and start rotating it by applying some pressure towards the pipe in clockwise direction. Check the formed threads by fixing the suitable coupling on it. Thus, you have learned how to form external threads using circular split die.
Finally, let us discuss re-sharpening. Every tool with a sharp edge gradually loses sharpness after repeated use. For better performance, tools like hot scissors and cold scissors need to be periodically resharpened using a grinding machine. Other tools used for resharpening include file and emery sheets. Resharpening is very important because it improves surface finish, increases tool efficiency, and extends the economy and life of the tool.
In this exercise, you will learn how to resharpen some of the cutting tools. Resharpening is achieved through grinding process. Grinding process can be done using various tools, like files, hand grinding machine, bench grinding machine, and emery sheets. Now, you will see the steps involved in resharpening the woodwork chisel using a bench grinder. The woodwork chisel has two faces. One face is tapered, and the other face is flat. To sharpen this chisel, we have to grind this tapered side. Adjust the tool rest to proper height. Adjust the angle of the tool rest to 45 degrees. Keep the taper side of the chisel on the tool rest. Switch on the grinding machine. Slowly move the chisel inwards the grinder wheel and grind it in the transverse direction as shown in the media. After grinding the tool, dip the tool in cold water. This hardens the tool tip. Place the hard emery sheet on the work table. Grind the flat face of the chisel in transverse direction. Grind both the faces of the chisel with a smooth emery sheet to finish the job. Check for the sharpness of the woodwork chisel by using it. Now, you will see how to resharpen a flat cold chisel. Flat cold chisel has both of the sides tapered. That is, both sides are at an angle of 45 degrees to the axis of the chisel. Set the tool rest of the grinding machine at proper height and at an angle of 45 degrees. Grind both the sides of the chisel using a bench grinder. Dip the chisel in water after grinding. Grind both the sides of the chisel on the soft wheel of the grinder to get a finished surface. Check the sharpness of the chisel by using them on a scrap piece. You have learned how to resharpen woodwork chisel and a flat cold chisel.
So in this lecture we learned filing practice and precaution, hacksaw cutting and shape operation, internal and external threading procedure, and the importance of resharpening tools. These practical skills are essential for workshop training and metalworking. Thank you for listening.